Hello, Guru Nation. Welcome back to a very special episode of YouTube. So, if you're watching, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Only 1/4 of you that are watching this video are subscribed, and that's would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. But today's very special because we are interviewing a CRC Academy graduate, Stephanie Winfield. Stephanie, according to Monica, one of our, like, if we had a CRC Academy Hall of Fame, we've only been doing it for 2 years, but if we had a Hall of Fame, you'd be up there. Your
Oh,
jersey would be in the rafters. So you're in the CRC Academy, one of our best students. So I told Monica, well, let's get Stephanie on. Let's talk to her about how she got hired, because you just recently got hired. We're gonna get into that a little bit, but welcome, Stephanie, first of all, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
oh, thank you. Well, I've been in the industry, the clinical research industry, for probably a little over 12 years now. My last position was I don't know, I was laid off due to a reduction in force. So that was back in 2018. I've had a hard time getting back into the field. When I apply for jobs, it's like you don't have recent experience. So, they were looking for somebody basically with recent experience. So I've been looking at the CRC Academy now for a while, and I think I probably reached out to you at first, Dan,
Oh,
and then you
good, good, good.
information, and then we conversated for a while, and I didn't, I just let time pass, and finally I said, well, let me contact Monica because I still had all of her contact information. So I contacted her, spoke with my husband, and we decided, that I was going to take the class, and I'm so glad that I did, because it was beneficial, and I'm glad I was able to, and when I spoke to Monica, she said, well, timing is everything, and when the time was right is when I was able to get into the class, and she was right. Timing is everything, because if I think if I had taken it, a year or so ago, I would not have been prepared.
Wow, words of wisdom from Monica. And so, what made you want to take it? I mean, you've somebody who has been in research for 12 years. I mean, first of all, I guess we got to talk about that because there's different career, as hopefully
Mhm.
people are learning through the YouTube channel that we're doing. There's different levels to the careers, and different organizations offer different opportunities. So for somebody to be in the industry for 12 years and feel like they still need, to take a course, like, how does that happen? Because I think I'm too used to private smaller sites where the coordinators do everything, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing your background is different.
Well, my background was a PC. I was a project coordinator at the company that I was with. And I just felt like I needed more knowledge. I needed more. I mean, I've done a lot across the board. I've done TMF, I've done patient recruitment, I've done grants, I've
Ah,
done a lot
okay.
of stuff. So I just felt like with having the CRC certification, that would just only help me to, further my career. And, if I decide to become a CRA at some point, I think that'll
Ah,
help a lot as well.
that's good
So,
to know. So see, everybody has different. This is why I talk about, you got to know like where you want to go, and it seems
yeah.
like you logically thought it out. Okay, this is like the next steps, and it does help that you've been in the industry, so you have an idea of like where the different possibilities are.
Mhm. Yeah. So I took the class in, I think we started in July. It was a 3-month program. And I'm so glad that I did it. I'm glad.
How did you
Now
like
one
Monica?
I love
Let's talk
Monica.
about Monica.
I love Monica. She's very knowledgeable.
Yes, she
Very
is.
Thank you.
patient, very patient. Um, but I will say this, even with the final project, Monica, I would send you, and sometimes I would be up like really, really late, trying to get this project done so that I can get it to you. The final project, I'm up like 11, 12 o'clock. and I'm not coherent, and I send you these things, and you kick it back to me like, no, this has to be done. This is not correct. Go back and change. I don't know. I'm like, so I didn't get mad because I couldn't get angry because it has to be done right. So I was like, yeah, she's not gonna just let me get away with it. She's gonna make
Monica's
sure.
a perfectionist. So
Yes.
what did you get? Like, what was the biggest takeaway or benefit from doing the CRC Academy?
I learned a lot across the board. I mean, I learned a bunch of stuff. I learned um, patient recruitment, site selection, site feasibility, choosing a PI. It's just so much information. Learned the Alcoa principle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just so much knowledge.
So
And I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then I can use it in all areas. I mean, across the board. And I think and I know that's how it played into the role that I just recently accepted. And actually, when I told them that I had gone to the CRC Academy, they were really, really impressed. And she probably went ahead and she probably looked you up because she was writing, information
Yes.
down about the academy.
Okay, good. So talk a little bit about project coordinator before we get into your current role. So
Okay.
what did you do? What is that job? Because that can mean different things at different organizations.
Okay. So a project coordinator, and I was actually on the CRO side, and that's one of the reasons. Well, now I'll go back to that. But I was on the CRO side, and a project coordinator is really a step below a PM. I'll say it's the PM, the CRA, and then the project coordinator. So I work closely with the PM, um, just doing a lot of site facing, communication with sites. If there was like a site that had low performance in recruitment, I'd contact the site, just working directly with the PM and the CRA, taking meeting minutes, just helping that study to run smoothly.
Hmm. Okay. And then from there, I assume, well, you knew what a coordinator was. I mean, probably since you started working in research, but did you work closer with coordinators during your career as a PC?
I did, yes.
And did
Well,
that,
not the study coordinator. I did not because
hmm,
in the field that I was in on the CRO side, we didn't have study coordinators. They were just project coordinators.
I see. I see. What attracted you to be a coordinator? Because a lot of people, when they start out at CROs, they just become lifelong CRO people, and they never really have patient
Yeah.
interaction. Like, what made you look at that and say, "Hey, this is kind of something I want to do"?
Well, one of the things is I don't think the sites work as hard as the CRO. The employees at the site. And like I said, I want to eventually become a CRA,
Hmm,
and I know that taking the class will help me, on that path.
I
If
think
that's what I
so.
need to do.
I always say, and Monica agreed probably, the best CRAs were former coordinators. And that's
Oh, yes.
they
I've heard
understand,
you
they
say that.
have empathy. So
Yeah,
it's only a matter of time. So you just got hired now as a coordinator recently?
I did. I did. I've been out of the class for, I guess, 3 months now. And Monica, she had so much faith in me. She's like, I know that you're gonna get a job, and I'm like, really? So, you
Monica,
know,
why did you say that? Why did you say that? Why are you so confident with Stephanie?
Because obviously, first of all, because as a student, she was very smart, and not just that, but she's also, I mean, I mentioned this before, but she's also a go-getter. You know,
Mm, hmm.
when somebody is,
thank you,
You
and she
Monica.
just
never
know.
stopped. Yeah, and then the other thing is, that obviously we know what we teach in the academy. So I know when the students go and have the interview, they have the language. They speak the same language and they understand what they are being told,
Hmm.
right? And then
That's
on top
correct.
of that, she has her background on research, we should also give her some support to speak more, even more secure. So she got the security everywhere. She's smart. She has the experience. She knows the language, and now she's a generalist after she took the class. I mean,
Well on your
what's
way to
wrong
being a
with that
CRA.
education?
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
Well on your
So
way. So what I know we're not going to name the organization, but what kind of company are you working for? Did you start yet or are you about to
I
start?
start Monday. So it's really,
Wow.
yeah. It's a pharma clinical research company. It's a smaller company. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but I believe it's going to allow me, the opportunity to move or for advancement. I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look, CRCs, CRAs, they're in such demand right now. I mean, you guys know the industry has put such a strain on resources as it pertains
Okay.
to staffing, especially, right?
Mhm.
Just because of the excess supply of studies, we need more COVID. So we need more long-term safety studies for COVID. You know, all this just for COVID, and there's a whole bunch of other studies besides COVID too that need
Right.
people, right? And
So
so, what kind of studies are you gonna do? Do you know?
I don't know yet,
Okay.
but I will say that this is a project coordinator role, um, and the company actually they actually I'll be doing the logistics. I'll be, setting up the site visits. They call them nurses. They don't call them CRAs. They
Ah,
call setting up the site visit between the patient and the nurse. I'll be doing lodging, transportation, anything that patient needs while they're in these studies. I
wow.
just found
Okay.
out yesterday that I'll be doing some patient retention and some like reimbursements and stuff. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of other stuff that I don't even know that
Wow.
I'll be, but I'm excited, really
So really
excited.
like hands-on patient centricity. I mean, retention's huge. In
Mhm.
our next week, March 9th, guys and gals, if you're watching this before March 9th, 2021, if you're watching after, go watch the replay. But if you're watching before, we have our Latinos in Clinical Research a Zoom meeting with Topaz Clinical Research from Florida, and they're going to talk about retention and why it's so important. And like it's important because the FDA won't look at study data unless certain percentage of patients completed the study. And
Yeah, wow.
so what you're going to be doing, Stephanie, is super important. I mean, it's could make or
Yeah,
break the study as a whole. So
right.
patient centricity super super important. So that sounds like an exciting new position that
Yeah,
you're going to be in.
yeah, I'm excited. I am excited about it. And I'm sure I'm going to have to go in like with fresh ideas. And so, come up with, I don't know what they're doing now as far as patient recruitment, but I'm sure I'll be, have to come up with something.
Well, Monica's got no
Stephanie, we
shortage of
invite you.
ideas.
Yeah,
Okay.
we invite you to come out to visit us in our webinar, to be part of the webinar on Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's gonna be at 2 p.m. PST.
Uh,
So it's 5 p.m. for you,
my
I
time.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, is that on,
Uh,
can I find that information on the Facebook page?
I will say yes. I will. Yeah. So register in Latinos in Clinical Research. Subscribe, and then you will receive the invitations. And I
Yeah,
mean,
we
and
send an email out.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, I will. Okay, thank you.
And it's on latinosinclinicalresearch.com. I'm working on a calendar feature where I'm going to have the events and all that stuff. But for now, just subscribe. But yeah, looking forward to doing
Okay.
follow-ups and seeing like when we start doing retention. And exactly, Monica, this is why you would be good to join that meeting because a lot of the focus is going to be on retention
Oh, wow.
strategies
Okay,
for sites.
great.
So when you
Yeah.
Okay.
mentioned that, my eyes just lit up because this is very
Yeah,
important. It's very
yes,
important to consider this.
yes.
And then the job that you're going to be doing is gonna be the site is gonna be remote. How's that gonna be?
Actually, it's remote. Yeah. And yeah, it's remote. So
So
yeah, I'm
it's
excited about
really
that as
convenient.
well. The salary was not what I had anticipated. They gave me a really good salary. So, but yeah,
Good
yeah.
for you. See,
Thank you.
CRC Academy, and then
Yeah,
good things happen. But Stephanie didn't just make an impulsive decision. She thought it through. I want to
yeah.
be a CRA. This is what I've done. This is where my gaps are and what I still need to do. Like very
Hmm.
logical. Very,
Oh,
and how did you like formulate this thought process? Like, how did you put all this together? What over what period of time did this start to come together for you?
oh wow. I guess it was like maybe 2 years.
Hmm.
Maybe it could have been, yeah, 2 years. But I was watching you guys, and I don't even know how I ran across you. I don't know if it was YouTube, Dan, or I think it was LinkedIn.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I started following you on LinkedIn. I reached out to you regarding. I reached out to you at first regarding the CRA Academy, and ended up, doing the CRC Academy. So that's how it all started. I was like, wow, this is some really good information, and I think this is something I need. So, but
That's
yeah.
awesome. Awesome, awesome, Stephanie. We got to definitely do follow-ups. Try to be on the March 9th. And then
Okay.
good luck in your new role. Congratulations on your new role. You
Now,
worked
Yes.
if I
hard to
say
get
one
it.
last thing, I
Yeah.
do not believe that I would have gotten the job if had it not been for the CRC Academy. I
Wow.
don't believe I would have gotten it.
Thank you for that. We did not pay
Yay.
Stephanie. Well, I don't know if Monica did, but
No.
we didn't pay Stephanie to say.
Not at all. Not at all. And I say that
Thank you.
because they were really, really impressed, with the fact that I, took it upon myself to attend the academy.
Wow. Yeah,
So
you
I
know
don't.
what? There's something there. Like, I think there's something attractive to the employer, and it doesn't have to be our academy, although I think ours are the best. But
Yeah, of
there's
course.
something when an employer sees, okay, this person, nobody paid for her. She did it on her own. Nobody
And that was the
told
question.
her.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, "You pay for this out of your pocket?" So yeah, it's good.
So what does that show? What does that tell you guys watching and listening? That shows you put yourself in the employer's shoes. That shows you. Here's a secret. For those that waited till the end, you get a secret of how employers think. If I'm gonna hire Stephanie or Monica, okay, the worst thing that can happen is not that they're a bad employee and then I have to fire them. That's actually not, that's probably second worst. The worst
Yeah,
thing that can happen is they're a good employee. I train them on research and then they lose interest and go do something else. And what happens now? I just wasted who knows how much time
yeah,
and resources to bring Stephanie and Monica up to speed, and now they're gone. So the fact that you are being proactive in your own development, career development, shows
yeah.
them that you are equally invested in your career
Right,
as they are, right? And
right.
so I think it makes it an easier decision for employer to bring you on in that case. It shows interest. Shows
I
interest.
agree. I agree.
Well,
So
Yes.
thank you, Stephanie.
yeah,
Very nice of you to come on and share and
yeah,
say those things about us. And thank you, Monica, for doing a really good
Thank
job
you.
with CRC Academy. And if anybody wants to reach out, we'll have the link underneath the video and in the show notes. And Stephanie, we'll interview you again, maybe in 6 to 12 months, and we'll
Yes.
talk more about retention and
sounds great.
challenges and industry issues. Okay, industry issues.
Right. Sounds good.
Thank you guys. Thank
Thank,
you everybody
All
for
thank
right.
you.
Thank
watching.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
y'all.
Thank you.